Harry's unwavering support of Meghan is both his greatest strength and his most glaring vulnerability. As he continues to stand by her, even amid increasing criticism, he risks losing touch with the values and duties that once defined him. His loyalty, while commendable, increasingly resembles a form of self-imposed exile, isolating him from the life he once knew and the responsibilities he was raised to uphold. With more details of Meghan's past emerging, the question remains, what does the future hold? For a duchess who seems to thrive on controversy yet struggles with accountability, Meghan's current path is marked by legal battles, fractured relationships, and a constant need to reshape her narrative. In the face of public skepticism, her attempts to establish a new role for herself as an author, speaker, or media mogul are hindered by ongoing doubts about her character and credibility. Meghan's biggest challenge moving forward will be regaining the public's trust. However, as long as she continues to portray herself as a victim rather than taking responsibility for her actions, that goal will remain elusive. For a woman who has always taken pride in her ability to shape her own destiny, Meghan now finds herself at a crossroads where every misstep is magnified and every decision carries the weight of her troubled past. As her controversial history resurfaces, it not only amplifies criticism against her, but also complicates her efforts to move forward. This situation casts an indirect but significant shadow over Queen Camilla, another polarizing figure within the royal family. Camilla, who has long been embroiled in her own scandals and public skepticism, now finds herself increasingly caught up in the larger narrative of dysfunction that seems to affect the monarchy. As Meghan's past comes back into focus, it serves as a stark reminder of the royal family's frequent associations with individuals whose histories are marked by questionable behavior, further complicating the already strained dynamics within the palace. Camilla, whose journey to queen consort has been marred by public disdain and her controversial relationship with King Charles, now faces renewed scrutiny, not just for her past actions, but for her ongoing role within a family often criticized for its poor judgment and questionable alliances. Exploring fresh perspectives on how the intertwined scandals involving Meghan and Camilla reveal deeper issues within the royal family shows how these controversies cast a long shadow over the monarchy's attempts to present a united and dignified front. One of the less discussed but crucial aspects of the ongoing royal drama is the strained relationship between Camilla and Meghan. Both women entered the royal family from highly controversial backgrounds and have had to navigate a challenging landscape of public opinion, palace politics, and media scrutiny. Yet their approaches and the public's perception of them could not be more different. Camilla's gradual acceptance within the royal family was largely based on a low-profile strategy. She quietly fulfilled her duties, avoided public confrontations, and slowly earned a reluctant acceptance. In contrast, Meghan has taken a far more vocal and confrontational approach, frequently engaging with the media and the public to defend her narrative. This fundamental difference in strategy highlights a distinct clash of ambitions: Camilla's survival through quiet persistence versus Meghan's bold, often reckless attempts to control her own story. The tension between these two figures also reflects a deeper issue within the royal family: its repeated failure to manage controversial personalities. The monarchy's inability to rein in Meghan's outspoken nature or fully integrate Camilla, amid ongoing whispers about her past, speaks volumes about a family that struggles to present a united front. The public, left to judge from a distance, often sees nothing but chaos and disarray, an image that does little to inspire confidence in the institution. Nothing bolsters the credibility of either Camilla or the institution she now represents. Camilla's past has always been a hurdle in her quest for acceptance, and recent scandals involving other royal figures only serve to further weaken her influence. Despite her title as queen consort, Camilla's power within the royal family remains precarious. She is often viewed more as a figurehead than a true power player, especially when compared to other senior royals like Princess Anne or Prince William, whose influence seems far more substantial and less tainted by personal controversy. The ongoing scrutiny of Meghan's past, along with the royal family's numerous public missteps, highlights just how fragile Camilla's position really is. Rather than being a stabilizing presence, she often appears overshadowed and outmaneuvered by the palace's more dominant figures. The perception that Camilla's role is largely symbolic and lacks real influence does little to help her cause. It raises the question of whether her position as queen consort is merely a title devoid of genuine authority, leaving her vulnerable to the ongoing turbulence within the monarchy. As scandals continue to emerge, whether from Meghan's side or others, Camilla's ability to exert any meaningful influence within the family seems increasingly diminished. Her past keeps casting a shadow over her actions, and every new controversy involving a royal figure serves as a reminder of her complicated history. Ultimately, Camilla's role as queen consort feels less like a position of power and more like a constant effort to sidestep further scandal. While Meghan's resurfacing issues bring fresh scrutiny to the royal family, they also highlight uncomfortable parallels with Camilla's own troubled past. Both women have been accused of using relationships to climb social and financial ladders, manipulating narratives to suit their own interests, and leveraging public sympathy when it benefits them. This poses a challenge for a royal family that has often prided itself on duty and decorum. These similarities are not just embarrassing, they are damaging to the monarchy's image. Camilla's role in the breakdown of Charles's marriage to Diana still lingers in the public's mind. Just as Meghan's accusations against the royal family continue to dominate headlines, both women signify a departure from the traditional mold of royal spouses, characterized more by scandal than silent support. For Camilla, the issue is that her own past mistakes are not just personal failings, they symbolize the broader problems that plague the monarchy. The royal family faces challenges with poor judgment, weak leadership, and a clear struggle to control the narrative. The resurgence of Meghan's controversial past prompts a fresh look at Camilla's legacy. It raises questions about how the royal family continues to attract and elevate figures who contribute more drama than dignity to the institution. The similarities between Camilla and Meghan remind us that, despite their different methods, both women have found it difficult to gain genuine respect within a family that remains divided and filled with internal conflict. Camilla's legacy as queen consort is complex, and Meghan's ongoing scandals only add to that complexity. Despite her attempts to quietly support King Charles and carry out her royal duties, Camilla's past continues to linger over her. New scandals involving other royal figures serve as a reminder of her own controversial rise to prominence. Camilla's journey has always been shadowed by whispers of infidelity, manipulation, and a desperate quest for acceptance traits that, whether true or not, have become an inseparable part of her public image. The challenge for Camilla is that her image as queen consort has never fully gained public approval. Although she has made significant strides since being labeled the most disliked woman in Britain, the shadow of her past still lingers. Each new scandal involving Meghan or Harry serves as an unwelcome reminder that Camilla's own history isn't without blemishes. For a queen consort who has spent years trying to improve her reputation, these continual reminders of royal missteps only deepen the public's mixed feelings toward her. As the royal family navigates the rocky waters of public opinion, Camilla's struggle to maintain her relevance becomes increasingly clear. The monarchy is rapidly evolving, largely due to younger royals like Prince William and Princess Catherine, who are seen as the future of the institution. In contrast, Camilla often feels like a relic of the past, a reminder of an era when the royal family was defined more by scandal than by service. Her position within the modern monarchy is fragile. Lacking the charisma and public appeal of her younger counterparts, Camilla's efforts to engage with contemporary issues often miss the mark. For a queen consort expected to embody continuity and stability, her presence frequently highlights the monarchy's outdated practices and its struggle to adapt to a changing world. As Meghan's past continues to generate headlines, it compels the public to reevaluate not only Meghan's position within the royal family, but also Camilla's. Both women, despite their differing approaches, epitomize the monarchy's repeated failures to align with modern values. For Camilla, the challenge extends beyond distancing herself from Meghan's scandal. She must also carve out a role that feels relevant and impactful in a monarchy increasingly focused on the future. Trust is a commodity the royal family can ill afford to lose, yet it has been eroded by figures like Meghan and, to a significant extent, Camilla. While Meghan's recent controversies dominate the news cycle, Camilla's own past continues to be a lingering source of distrust among the public. Many have never fully embraced her as queen consort, viewing her instead as a figure whose ascent was built on controversy and betrayal. Camilla's struggle with public opinion remains challenging and filled with setbacks. Every new detail about Meghan's past highlights the deep and ongoing trust issues within the monarchy. Camilla, who has spent years trying to prove herself as a reliable and supportive partner to King Charles, finds it almost impossible to fully win over the public. Her constant connection to scandals, whether her own or others, makes this battle even harder. The royal family's frequent ties to controversial figures like Meghan and Camilla show how personal failings can overshadow their sense of duty. These continuing dramas have deeply damaged trust, proving that the monarchy's biggest challenge may not come from outside pressures, but from its struggle to maintain the respect and confidence of the people. Looking at Camilla's role in the royal family today, it's clear her path has been marked by mischances and ongoing controversies. Despite her efforts to support King Charles and carry out her royal duties, she hasn't fully escaped the shadow of her past. Her attempts to rebuild her image have been set back by her own mistakes and the scandals that continue to surround the royal family. Camilla's future as queen consort is uncertain. She is both crucial to the monarchy and a symbol of its imperfections. No matter how hard she tries to show a dignified front, her past continues to be a part of her story. Camilla's story continues to shape how the public views her and influences her position within the royal family. In my opinion, her struggle for acceptance shows that no title or position can erase a controversial past. The monarchy's ongoing ties to figures like Camilla and Meghan only highlight its vulnerability to scandal and the constant fight to regain public trust. Camilla's role in the royal family is complicated, shaped by both her loyalty and her past mistakes. As more scandals unfold, her challenge will be to stay relevant and maintain her dignity in a monarchy that is ever-changing and closely watched. Camilla's journey serves as a cautionary tale about the complexities of royal life. Her ongoing fight for legitimacy, along with the royal family's never-ending dramas, illustrates how hard it is to maintain a public image. In today's world, where every mistake is amplified and every secret eventually surfaces, her future as queen consort remains uncertain. How well she handles the challenges ahead will decide if she can truly move beyond the legacy of her controversial past. That's the main discussion for today. Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please share your comments below with me and the community. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Goodbye, and see you next time. Hello everyone, the Duchess of Sussex is once again in the spotlight, facing renewed criticism about her past. Former colleagues, palace insiders, and critics are painting a less than rosy picture of a woman who seems to have always sought opportunities to advance. Allegations from her earlier life, ranging from claims of past drug use to accusations of leveraging her charm and looks to climb the social ladder, have reignited debates about Meghan's true intentions. As people dig deeper into her history, questions continue to swirl around her character, ambitions, and her relationship with Prince Harry. This situation goes beyond old tabloid stories. It's a clear reminder of the controversies that have marked Meghan's journey and the persistent doubts that seem to shadow her every move. Let's take a closer look at these recent claims, their effect on her already fragile public image, and what they reveal about her ongoing pursuit of fame, fortune, and status. One of the most damaging stories from Meghan's past involves her early role as a briefcase model on the popular game show Deal or No Deal. While some may see it as just a minor part of her career, it has become a symbol of Meghan's supposed willingness to do whatever it took to gain fame. Critics claim that this time in her life, where she was primarily showcased for her looks rather than her skills, highlights the lengths she was prepared to go to stay in the spotlight. The resurfacing of this chapter has not only sparked renewed conversations about Meghan's past, but it has also raised doubts about the sincerity of her current image. As a socially aware and polished duchess, many people see a sharp contrast between her public persona now and her less glamorous beginnings. This gap continues to fuel the narrative that Meghan might be more focused on self-promotion than genuine charity or public service. For Meghan, who has often portrayed herself as a victim of media scrutiny and the pressures of royal life, the renewed attention on her bimbo past serves as a harsh reminder that the internet never forgets, no matter how much she tries to reinvent herself. The image of a young Meghan smiling with a briefcase in hand lingers, casting doubt on her efforts to establish herself as a serious modern royal. This only adds fuel to ongoing claims about Meghan's alleged past behaviors, including rumors of drug use and her preference for the company of wealthy, influential men. Reports of Meghan being a pot smoker have resurfaced, with sources suggesting that her lifestyle before meeting Harry was far from the prim and proper image she now tries to present. Though these allegations are mostly based on hearsay, they have sparked conversations about what kind of influences Meghan may have brought into her relationship with Harry. The thought of a future duchess being involved in such activities has undoubtedly clashed with the public's expectations of what a royal spouse should embody. It brings up uncomfortable questions about the vetting process or perhaps the lack of it before Meghan became part of the royal family. For a monarchy that prides itself on tradition and decorum, Meghan's past represents a sharp contrast to the standards the British royal family has upheld for generations. Her history with wealthy men has also fueled debate. Insiders claim she always sought relationships with those who could give her access to a higher social circle. From her short-lived marriage to producer Trevor Engelson to rumored connections with other high-profile figures, Meghan's romantic life is often viewed as opportunistic. Critics argue that her marriage to Prince Harry was the ultimate achievement in a long-standing effort to boost her social standing. Meghan's journey has been marked by calculated moves and carefully chosen connections. Her past isn't just a collection of embarrassing stories, it's seen as a reflection of her relentless ambition and willingness to pursue any path that promised progress. From her early days in Hollywood to her role as Rachel Zane on Suits, Meghan consistently sought roles that would boost her visibility and bring her closer to the lifestyle she desired. However, it's her strategic approach to relationships that has drawn the most criticism. Her marriage to Prince Harry is often seen as the peak of her social climbing. Insiders claim Meghan carefully plotted her way into royal circles, studying the habits and preferences of the British aristocracy to prepare herself for life as a royal wife. For some, this demonstrates remarkable determination and focus. For others, it seems manipulative and insincere. For a royal family already dealing with public skepticism and ongoing scandals, Meghan's ambition has been a double-edged sword. While her marriage to Harry initially brought a fresh, modern energy to the monarchy, it has since turned into a media frenzy, further highlighting deep cultural divides. The ethical differences between Meghan and the royal institution she married into continue to draw attention. As the spotlight stays on Meghan's past, Prince Harry finds himself caught in the middle. Public opinion is divided on whether Harry is enabling Meghan's behavior or is a victim of her ambitions. On one hand, his unwavering support of Meghan, even in the face of growing criticism, shows a man deeply in love and committed to defending his wife. On the other hand, his decision to cut ties with his family and step back from royal duties has led many to believe Meghan's influence has not been positive. Harry's personal struggles, shaped by his turbulent upbringing and the trauma of losing his mother, are well known. Critics of Meghan argue that she took advantage of these vulnerabilities, presenting herself as a compassionate partner who understood his pain, while ultimately using that connection to advance her own goals. Harry's apparent detachment from his previous life, a life rooted in duty, tradition, and public service, seems to highlight the depth of Meghan's influence over him. His unwavering support of Meghan, despite the strain it has placed on his reputation and relationships, paints the picture of a man whose judgment may be clouded by his emotional connection. The prince, who once represented resilience and commitment to public duty, now seems adrift, torn between his past responsibilities and his present reality. As Meghan's most loyal defender, Harry has stood by her even as she continues to face criticism. Meghan's repeated portrayal of herself as a victim has begun to lose its impact with many observers. While she often talks about the challenges she faced within the royal family and from the British press, critics argue that she has consistently used her personal struggles to deflect criticism and attract sympathy. The latest revelations about her past only fuel the perception that Meghan is skilled at shaping narratives, always working to reinvent her image in ways that serve her ambitions. The public skepticism of Meghan isn't just about her past actions, it's about her apparent unwillingness to take responsibility for them. From her explosive interview with Oprah Winfrey to her ongoing legal battles with British tabloids, Meghan has repeatedly cast herself as a victim, unfairly treated, misunderstood, and always under attack. However, as more details about her past emerge, this narrative of victimhood begins to unravel, exposing a pattern of bending the truth. The public's patience for Meghan's ongoing complaints is wearing thin. Many now see her as someone more focused on self-promotion than genuine accountability. Meghan seems more focused on controlling the narrative than on genuine self-reflection or change. As the scrutiny grows, her defenses appear increasingly fragile, and her attempts to shape public opinion are met with mounting skepticism. For the royal family, Meghan's past and her ongoing actions have become a never-ending PR nightmare. Every new revelation, controversial comment, and legal battle drags the monarchy back into the tabloid spotlight it has worked for decades to avoid. Meghan's presence has forced the royal family to face uncomfortable truths about its own internal dynamics, but it has also pulled them into a media storm from which there seems to be no easy way out. Her critics argue that Meghan's entrance into the royal family was like a Trojan horse, an opportunity to exploit the monarchy's global platform while undermining it from within. Whether intentional or not, Meghan's actions have consistently put the royal family on the defensive, creating crises that often appear to stem from her own decisions. The impact of Meghan's ongoing controversies is clear in the royal family's increasingly cautious approach to public engagement. King Charles and Prince William, in particular, have had to navigate the fallout from Harry and Meghan's very public departure from royal duties. For a family that values discretion and service, Meghan's behavior serves as a constant reminder of the challenges that arise when bringing an outsider into the fold, especially one as divisive as the Duchess of Sussex. One of Meghan's biggest struggles has been her difficulty in genuinely connecting with the public. While she often presents herself as a relatable figure and outsider who faced challenges and overcame them, her actions frequently contradict this narrative. From her lavish lifestyle and expensive wardrobe to her tone-deaf complaints about the difficulties of royal life, Meghan often appears disconnected from the everyday realities faced by ordinary people. The renewed scrutiny of Meghan's past only deepens this disconnect. Her history as a briefcase model, along with allegations of drug use and opportunistic relationships, paints a picture of someone more focused on advancing her own agenda than on genuinely connecting with the causes she claims to support. For a public that is increasingly skeptical of celebrity virtue signaling, Meghan's version of activism comes across as hollow. Meghan's repeated missteps, both in the past and present, have diminished the goodwill she initially had. When she first joined the royal family, the public saw her as a breath of fresh air, but that perception has shifted to view her as a calculated and self-serving figure more focused on maintaining her relevance. While Meghan bears the brunt of the criticism, it's important to acknowledge Harry's role in this ongoing saga. His loyalty to Meghan, although admirable in some ways, has come at a significant personal cost. Harry's estrangement from his family, his declining public approval, and his increasingly erratic public statements suggest that he is struggling to balance his love for Meghan with the fallout from their choices. His once cherished image as a fun-loving, duty-driven prince has been overshadowed by his association with Meghan's controversies. He seems trapped in a cycle of defending his wife at all costs, even when it pushes him further away from the public and his own family.